I feel like Frank gonna dominate him first through 12th round. He's the most skilled, talented fighter that Tank ever fought. Frank definitely gonna take it. I feel like he's the best fighter he fought. He gonna see the speed. He gonna see the strength. He gonna see the power that Frank brings to the table on fight night.
Frantics, none of his little distractions that he try to throw fighters off with. Just going out there and being who I am. You know, I'm gonna come out with my hand raised.
Get ready for fireworks as Frank Martin and Errol Spence Jr. deliver a powerful warning to Gervonta Tank Davis before their highly anticipated showdown. With tensions rising and stakes higher than ever, this battle promises to be an epic clash of titans that you won't want to miss. Brace yourself for an electrifying spectacle as these boxing giants prepare to go head-to-head in a battle for supremacy. Frank Martin is ready for his clash against Gervonta Davis. He believes he is the man to finally stop the KO artist, Tank Davis. Errol Spence has responded to the pressure Frank will be put under. Of course, this is his first big fight under the lights, against one of the biggest names in boxing in the minute. Spence said, "Pressure makes diamonds."
Pressure make diamonds. I told him everybody has to go through it. The Greats had to go through it. Ali had to go through it. Ray Leonard had to go through it. Everybody had to go through it. So, like I told him, if you want to be great, you got to go through that fire. And it's the fire he got to go through to be who he wants to be, one of the best.
Remember when Fight Hype covered the legendary sparring session between Martin and Gervonta at the Mayweather gym some years back? That was definitely pay-per-view level material, right? No need to dive deep into it. We all know the deal. During that time, did you ever think, I might end up fighting this guy for real one day? You probably had a feeling it might happen eventually, but then you doubted it, saying, nah, they won't actually fight me. It was quite a surprise when they agreed to step into the ring with you, but here you are now. Tank said he felt bad for Martin that it had to be him for his comeback fight. After taking out Ryan Garcia last year,
more along the lines like, I feel bad that it has to be you for his first fight coming back for this year. What's your response to that when he said that? And what's your thoughts going through your head when you heard him say that?
Feel bad for him. It had to be me too. I feel bad for him. It had to be me, you know. Like I told him, you know, I appreciate him taking this fight, you know, but they fucking this one.
The press conference was really impressive. You and Gervonta talked about ending it with a, do you still believe that? Yeah, if the opportunity comes up, Tank can be knocked out just like anyone else. If he messes up, he might get caught. It all depends. Do you think your boxing skills will give you an edge in the fight, Tank? When the fight night comes, everyone will see what's what as soon as the bell rings. He suggested you took the fight too early. Do you think it's just mind games? They want to make you doubt, but don't fall for it. Nothing they say should shake your confidence. Throughout the years, I've always supported and encouraged him to be great. Despite his disrespectful behavior towards Floyd online, I've tried to help him succeed. That's all I've ever done. Floyd Mayweather spilled the beans on the sparring session between Gervonta Davis and Frank Martin. Meanwhile, Frank Martin shared his thoughts on his training buddy, Ryan Garcia, who's betting against him in the upcoming title fight against Tank Davis. Martin mentioned how Ryan seemed cool, but he didn't really about his words. At first, Ryan's sure Martin would win, but then he changed his mind and even suggested $1 million bet on Tank. This whole situation is kind of weird, especially since both Frank and Ryan have the same coach, Derek James, and train in Dallas together. Martin thought it would have been smarter for Ryan to stay neutral about the Tank versus Martin fight. Maybe Ryan is trying to set himself up for a rematch by siding with Tank Davis. For Ryan, facing off against Davis is a big deal, especially after his surprising victory over WBC light welterweight champion Devin Haney. But now things are up in the air due to his positive Ostarine tests that need to be reviewed by the New York State Athletic Commission. At 29 years old, Frank Martin is seen as the underdog going up against the undefeated Tank Davis, who has an impressive record of 29 wins with 27 knockouts. Even though he's backed by Errol Spence Jr., people had their doubts after his last fight with Artem Harutyunyan, where he had to make a comeback to get a unanimous decision victory. Not many think he has a shot against Davis.
Yeah, underestimated. You know, it ain't no better feeling than that, you know, to show up and then show everybody who doubting you, you know, a whole type of different fighter, different everything, you know, just to open their eyes up. This, it don't get no better than me going out here and beating a Tank. You know, like the Rivera fight, I didn't get I got recognition, but not like I'm gonna get, you know, for this fight right here. This the one.
Frank Martin continued his discussion about Ryan Garcia shifting his stance. Martin stated that he doesn't deal with fake people, highlighting how individuals switch sides and fighters need to have a solo mentality. The initiation was the fight with Gervonta Davis, following on from his match with Artem and the planned bout against Shakur Stevenson. Displaying immense confidence, Frank Martin eagerly awaits his clash with Gervonta Davis. Despite Davis undermining Martin's potential due to his late start in boxing, Martin remains undaunted. He entered the sport in his teenage years, contrasting with Davis starting at 7. Martin has consistently been an underdog since the beginning and recently achieved a resounding victory over Artem Harutyunyan in July. His breakthrough occurred in 2022 with an exceptional showing against Michel Rivera. Exhibit his abilities and values, Davis accepting the challenge. Davis, who had one fight in 2023, securing a 7th-round knockout against Ryan Garcia, enters the June event on a 3-fight knockout streak. Despite Davis's reputation among top pound-for-pound contenders, some vulnerabilities surfaced in recent encounters like those against Isaac Pitbull Cruz and Leo Santa Cruz. These weaknesses give Martin a viable foundation to consider defeating him. Davis caused a stir in the boxing world by sharing sparring footage featuring Frank Martin, sparking lively conversations among fans. Tensions escalated during their recent face-off when Davis quickly dismissed Martin's extended hand, leading to security intervention. Davis remarked on Frank's talkativeness, keen to illustrate his front-runner status. Expressing frustration, Davis expressed regret at having to address Frank specifically amidst the escalating tension. In a classic Davis move, he wasted no time asserting his presence in the conversation, dismissing Martin's points with a wave of his hand. Davis hinted that Martin hadn't faced anyone as skilled as him yet, confidently stating his intention to outdo Martin in the upcoming fight. Tensions rose as Davis focused on Martin's upbringing, suggesting a significant difference in their backgrounds, and making derogatory comments about Martin's personal life, especially targeting his partner. Martin, unfazed by Davis's attempts to provoke him, continued to stand by his beliefs during the conversation, adamantly refusing to back down in the verbal duel. The atmosphere crackled with tension as they exchanged insults, both unwilling to give an inch in the war of words. Davis dramatically pulled out his smartphone, eager to show a compilation of their previous sparring matches as undeniable evidence of his superiority. The verbal sparring went on for minutes, each fighter passionately defending their honor and claiming victory in the upcoming match. Errol Spence Jr., who is now the promoter of Frank Martin, believes his training has been second to none for this upcoming matchup. Frank is more than ready for this fight. It's a big test, but Spence believes Frank is the best in the division, and will show that on June 15th,
Tank, he's never fought anybody as skilled and talented as Frank Martin. And Frank Martin never faced anybody as skilled and talented as Tank. Frank been training hard, he been focused, he been going 13 rounds. If you ever been to their gym, you know how hot it is. I done ran sprints with him. He's always the leader in the sprints when we're running. So, you know, he's 100% ready, 100% ready to go. Make sure everybody tune in June 15th. They will see a new world champion and a new start to a new era in Frank Martin.
After the press conference, the tension hung heavy in the air, even after Martin and Davis went their separate ways. Despite their polite demeanor, the underlying animosity between them was still evident. However, Frank Martin remained confident in his ability to surpass Davis. While acknowledging their past sparring sessions, where Davis seemed to have the advantage, Martin brushed them off as insignificant battles due to the variability of training sessions. The true extent of Martin's challenge against the formidable Tank remained uncertain, casting doubt on his preparedness for the upcoming showdown. In an interview with Fight Hub TV, Frank Martin exuded confidence as he discussed his upcoming fight with Gervonta Davis. He emphasized the mental preparation he had done for the bout, stating his strong belief that victory was already assured in his mind. Martin focused on carefully studying Davis's fighting style, developing a game plan to exploit his weaknesses. He believed in his unique set of skills that set him apart from past opponents of Davis. Martin acknowledged Davis's power, but stressed that relying solely on strength would not be enough against such a skilled opponent. He highlighted the importance of strategy and finesse in boxing, noting how he planned to take advantage of Davis's defensive flaws to secure a win. Martin's strategy revolved around outsmarting Davis and capitalizing on his weaknesses. He noticed that Davis had been in close fights before, often coming from behind to win with a decisive blow. Martin aimed to break this pattern by using a calculated approach to stay ahead of Davis.
A fight against a guy like Gervonta Tank Davis, no one has been able to figure him out. He has found a way to win. He's obviously a knockout artist. You know, how have you been trying to replicate his style in training? What kind of, sparring partners have you been trying to bring in without revealing too much of your game plan?
I got different looks. I got different type of southpaws. I got long southpaws who got a high punch output. That's southpaws. Just different type of styles, man. So, we just gonna be ready for everything we got. We gonna have an answer for everything. I ain't none of the guys or one of them guys even fought. So, man, I'm just ready to go out June 15th and show the world what Frank Martin about.
Devin Haney shared his perspective on Martin's decision to fight Davis, predicting that Davis would come out on top due to Martin's lack of experience against elite competition. While Martin had faced seasoned fighters like Ryan Kilchewski, Romero Duno, and Jackson Marinez, Haney doubted if he was ready for the level of skill Davis possessed. Haney recognized Davis's experience and abilities, but expected Martin to put up a fight. Ryan Garcia initially supported Martin, but later changed his stance after defeating Haney. Garcia believed that even if Tank beat Martin, a rematch between them was unlikely as Garcia was moving up to a higher weight class for future fights. Promoter Eddie Hearn weighed in, confidently stating that Gervonta Davis would defeat Frank Martin easily. Hearn tempted Davis with a lucrative offer to fight Conor Benn for a hefty $25 million payday, though it remained uncertain if Davis would accept the proposal, especially with the controversy surrounding Conor Benn right now. As we wrap up, it's clear that the intensity between these fighters is reaching a boiling point. Fight fans are setting this up for the potential fight of the year, so stay tuned for more updates on this explosive matchup. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for all the latest news and analysis in the world of boxing.